what the internet will do. The internet will hype. Like every other scroll is somebody going live talking about Sinners, and each of them is like, oh my God, you just have to see this movie. And I'm like, guys, it's a good movie. Like, don't get me wrong. But calm down. First of all, I love a Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan combo. Like, you already know it's going to be good. But the issue with people hyping it is that I already had a decent expectation because I don't think Ryan Coogler is going to make a bad movie. Now, Michael B. Jordan has done some stuff, on his own that I thought wasn't very strong at all. But Ryan Coogler has not. So I already have this is going to be a good film. But the hype, though, puts your expectation up here, and there's just no way you're going to meet that expectation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You're thinking you're going in to see God, and instead it's Mary. And you're like, Mary's cool, but I thought I was going to see God. It's like you can't help but have this much disappointment. First of all, Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job. He did a great job with making these two characters uniquely flawed, uniquely present. They had their own stories, their own emotional through lines, their own needs. It was less traditionally structured because the inciting incident doesn't have anything to do with vampires, right? The inciting incident is about getting the juke joint, like paying for the juke joint. Like, this is what we came to do. They're just getting back in town. Now that I have the juke joint, I got to go get all the people so I can make the juke joint happen. So they get active very quickly. Whereas in our traditional act structure, we would have spent more time building up to an inciting incident. The midpoint is where his brother gets bitten, and then we spend the rest of the time with a new goal, which is what a midpoint can do. A new goal, which is, okay, let's stay alive now that we realize we're dealing with vampires. From the midpoint on, it's very traditional. We got a new goal. We got to figure out how we're supposed to fight it, and then they quickly start fighting it. We have a climax and it's over. Everything before then is focused on the let's have a successful opening night. And then we spend a lot of time in character moments while they're in that opening night scene. See stuff with the women, stuff with each of them has, a woman and blah, 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 blah. While we are understanding that the vampires are, have started getting together and coming over. But those worlds don't collide until halfway into the film. So that is decently untraditional, especially if you're going to name it a horror film. And so it's like, sure, does it eventually become a horror film? Yes. But for the first half of it, it isn't. Right? The first half, you're just watching a drama, a decently light one too, because like I said, there are some moments I was in there laughing out loud. Obviously, it's a period piece, so it's during a time where there is racism and Jim Crow, and even though that didn't have anything to do with the premise of the show, of the film, it was just set in a time period where it's there, so you're gonna feel it, it's going to be around, but at the end of the day, that's not what it is about. But because of that, then that means we got to see all the white people as the devil. We even get to see women as evil, right? Because it's the woman who is also majority white at this point, because it's her grandfather who is biracial, right? Her grandfather is biracial, so her grandfather is not even fully black. So grandfather's biracial, mom is a quadroon, child is an octoroon. And in that, she is the reason those vampires get in there. She says to him, let me go work them for some money. And he's like, man. And she's like, come on, let me do it. And he's like, okay, go ahead. So she goes out. She becomes a vampire. She gets back in. And because he can't say no to that woman, then she eats him. And then the rest of the white vampires are allowed to now take over the rest of the black bodies. And so it's like, okay, what messages are we getting from there? Now, at the end of the day, the white vampires weren't after the black people because they were black. You know what I mean? He just wanted some people. He went over there and he got some. So for him, he was like, hey, we can unite against the rest of the world. It doesn't have to be about racism, right? The black people were more concerned about race, as they should, because they are usually the ones in the position of like, are y'all about to do something to me because I'm black? Whereas the vampires this time, also because we don't know how old that vampire was. Like if you think about vampire lore, right, we don't know how old the head guy was. We know those other two were of that time period, but we don't know where he came from. But for him, he was like, oh, this is because I'm white, that's why y'all won't let me in. Which was great. There were also some nice comedic moments. So there were a few flaws in the film for me. I thought it was a good film. I enjoyed it. But there were a few flaws for me. This was one of them because it just felt like such a reach. What it felt like to me was there is no reason for them to allow these people in. So we're either going to wait until sunrise, which is however long, or we got to do something to make the people come in. And so it just felt like, well, we got to do something. It didn't feel realistic to me. It felt like just suspend your disbelief that this woman would get so upset that she would invite 50 vampires into a room where there are only 6 people who don't even know what vampires are, barely know how to kill them, are only going off of the one woman from New Orleans who has never dealt with a vampire but has kind of heard about one before. So I am so upset that these people may go kill my child, even though, to Delroy Lindo's point, they still out there. Ain't one of them moved yet. They all out there. They trying to get in here. They not even worried about your daughter. But you going to invite all these people in here so we can die too? That didn't make sense to me. I don't care how much she cared about her child. You go out there. Why you got to invite them in here with me? Man, and then died instantly. Went out, got on fire, killed one vampire who I think was her husband, but I didn't get a good glimpse of him. So, like, it made sense that it was her husband, but it's like he wasn't even the one that was threatening your child. It was the main vampire. So you're going to let everybody in here, kill the easy target, which is your husband, and then burn up and leave the rest of us to fight for our lives? No. To me, that felt like a reach. But I guess they were like, who else would invite them in? The black folks not going to invite them in. Now this we know. The black people are not inviting the vampires in. So it had to be Grace. Who else would have done it? I thought it would have been something more nuanced, like had she invited her husband in because she thought bringing him in would stop them from going to get her child. Something. Then to be like, yeah, all of y'all come in here like we know how to fight y'all. She basically, now, okay, as a mother, you care about your daughter. You know your daughter has already lost her father because he's now a vampire. And you say, well, yeah, come kill me too. She's gonna leave your daughter with nobody? Yeah, she wasn't thinking. She didn't think that one through. So the other big flaw to me, and obviously it was intentional, because Ryan Coogler does everything with intention, but this just does not make any sense to me. Spoiler alert. If you want to jump off now. The vampire says that the man who sold you this building is the head of the KKK, and he only sold it to you because it's a slaughterhouse, and they intend to come and slaughter you. All of you. So instead, why don't you unite with us? I'm like, cool. But then the KKK doesn't show up until the next morning. A, not in their hoods, so y'all just don't care. Y'all just gonna show everybody who you are. And B, who do y'all think is here the next morning? The party is over. If your whole thing was, yeah, we're gonna be able to take down a bunch of N-words all at the same time, why wouldn't you come mid-party, lock the doors, and start killing people? Why would you come the next morning? Who did you think was gonna be here? Even if you thought you were just gonna kill the twins. So that's just 2 people. You knew they bought it because they were gonna have a party. Don't you get a bigger reward if you kill off 100 people and not 2? So I don't know if anybody gonna help me to understand that one. That one didn't make no sense to me. Now, glad, like, to me, it was more so about watching Smoke take out everybody all by himself, because we kept hearing that the twins are not something to play with, right? And we saw Smoke shoot 2 people at the beginning of the thing. So we're like, okay, you don't really play with them. But outside of that, we didn't really have to see them do too much. People were afraid of them, so they didn't have to do too much. So it's like, okay, cool. We're going to have this last scene. We're going to really show you who Smoke is. He also took his root off, so he was ready to die. He wanted to go meet his woman and meet his child. And at that point, we thought, meet his brother. Cool. But that didn't make no sense to me that the KKK would show up the day after, in the middle of the day, like the morning. I appreciated the fact that the Black and Asian people were on the same team, especially because Ryan Coogler is from California, and we know that the Asian and Black communities have a lot of tension here. So I appreciated that it was like, no, these are our people. We work together. When they had what I'm calling the ring shout moment, for those of you who know what a ring shout is, do you know what I'm talking about? For those who don't, you can go look it up. But when they had their ring shout moment and all of the ancestors popped up, they brought the Chinese ancestors back too, even though it was the Black man who was playing, you know, the guitar. The Black, yeah, he's a man. The Black man who was playing the guitar. So I really appreciated that. So I really then wanted to see the Choctaw come back and the Black and Native Americans could fight the vampires together. Now that's just me. Now I'm not writing the script. He wrote it the way he wanted it to write. But you can't bring these cool people. Oh, they look so cool, didn't they? The Native Americans look so cool. They came in like, hey, I'm saying, is he in there? Oh yeah? Yon. And they said, peace out. They said they ain't coming back.
And that's it. Want more content? Like, subscribe, and for notifications. Get notes on your script that get you unstuck at www.theprofessionalpen.com. I'm out.